My neighbor has apparently decided that it's the perfect opportunity to do some very noisy landscaping on this Monday at 8 a.m. Don't they know I have things to record? Oh, how rude. The audacity! Hello everyone! This video was requested by my newest executive producer tier patron, Matthew Baltar. If you would like to request a specific video or even join me in one, check out my Patreon linked in the description below. So, first things first, you all know that typically in story times like this I do not name names of anyone being discussed in the video. However, with this topic, it would not be difficult at all to find out the name of the person involved with this story. Even though they're no longer on the Hypixel staff team, they aren't around anymore or go by the same username, I don't believe their YouTube channel even still exists anymore. We are not going to be public shaming people here. If you are aware of the person I'm talking about, then cool, but any mention of this individual's name in the comments or any identifiers will be deleted, and depending on the mood of the day, might even earn you a block from posting future comments. Because, let's be honest, if you want to f*** around and find out what happens when you can't even follow a simple request presented right within the first few minutes of the video, then I'm not sure you need to be commenting anywhere on my channel anyways. Alright. A few years ago, I was working on a video that had been in the works for several years by that point. It was such a huge passion project of mine, something that could have easily been my favorite video that I'd ever put out. But thanks to this person who I'm going to refer to as Richard, it was completely soiled, and now thanks to them, I can't even think of this video without being reminded of the infuriating debacle I had to deal with. This video in question required the use of the replay mod, which I was unable to install and use myself due to technical difficulties. So I put out a notice within my community and in the Hypixel forums looking for a volunteer to help. The plan was to have them record certain games to use for footage, and we would get in a call or something and go over specific shots and framing, all the fancy cinematography stuff capable with the replay mod. Although I'd never actually seen Richard around before, he offered to help, claiming to be very knowledgeable with the replay mod, and he had some gameplay montages on his channel that were actually done pretty well, so I was excited to have his help. There were a lot of hands in this project. I had many gracious and deeply appreciated volunteers who helped me out, but no one gave me a fraction of the trouble Richard did. Everything seemed to go well at first, as it always does, and he appeared to understand the plan for what we were going to do and how I wanted to make this video. So we'd get on the server with a bunch of other people and start filming what were essentially our scenes. Since I had storyboarded the entire thing, which is essentially planning out the entire video shot for shot, and I was acting as director and getting everyone coordinated. Richard was really getting into it and tossing out suggestions for certain bits, and all was swell. Eventually, we finished filming and completed all the shots I wanted to do, but then Richard insists he's going to continue on his own for a bit and film some extra stuff by himself. Which I thought was a bit odd. With what I had planned, there wasn't really room for anything else because there was very much a set time frame we had to work with, and we'd only be able to cram so much content into the few minutes we had and still have it all make sense and be any sort of decent to watch. But fine, I thought, whatever floats your boat, my guy. He's volunteering his time to help my project. I just wanted the damn thing done since it had been in production for so long. Therefore, I had no qualms if he wanted to try to redo some shots and film ones that may or may not make it into the final product. At this point, I was waiting to have that call and continue my job as director and go over the camera angles and all that yada yada for what we filmed, but it never happened. Because after some time went by, I messaged Richard inquiring as to when we'd finally get down to business, and he responds with something along the lines of,
Don't worry, I'll do it all on my own. Send me everything you have for this project and I'll do it by myself.
And immediately I'm feeling all sorts of queasy and uneasy, and I'm like, excuse me, what? I really did not want Richard to do all the work because, as I've said, this video was like my baby. I'd been working on it and planning it for years, and I had a certain vision of how I wanted it to turn out. So the last thing I wanted was to completely hand the reins over to someone I barely know. but he kept insisting, and I have the worst problem saying no to anything, but especially in situations like this, because I have this unhealthy anxiety of being perceived as someone who is difficult to work with. So sometimes I tend to just go along with whatever other people want, even if it causes me a bunch of stress. And part of me was also worried that if I didn't go along with what this person wanted, he wouldn't even hand over the footage I needed to complete the video. And oh boy, this really came back to bite me in the ass. Sometime later, the video was completed with absolutely none of my input, no matter how much I tried to shove my way back into my own project. Towards the end of the week, he sent me the finished product, and my heart immediately sank upon seeing the opening credits displayed in obnoxiously large text as a Richard production, with no mention of my name whatsoever. He sent me a copy without the gaudy opening credit, but the whole reason he did that is because he announced plans to upload a version of the video to his own YouTube channel. And his reasoning was that with all the work he had done for this project, which I will remind you the majority of which he assigned to himself and was not asked to do, that meant this was now a 50-50 collaboration, and he was essentially taking half ownership without any sort of permission or discussion with me beforehand. He even removed a large chunk of names from the end credits, not even giving proper credit or thanks to some of the volunteers who helped out with this project because he didn't deem them necessary. All around, this video I had spent years preparing was suddenly crashing down in a huge ball of fire because I got fucking steamrolled by this person who took advantage of their position to take over this whole damn project and pull it right out from under my feet. But oh, somehow, it still gets worse. Worst of all was at the time I was posting Minecraft-related videos every week, specifically on Mondays for this whole weekly Minecraft Monday sort of thing that I started before Keemstar began his dumpster fire of a series, which is not related, but I felt the need to mention. So since the video was completed towards the end of the week, I would be waiting a few days to upload my version, which Richard was well aware of, and yet he had the audacity to upload his on Sunday. So of course everyone thought the video was originally his because he posted it first. Some even believing that I stole my own goddamn video. There was a bigger channel that even did a reaction video to Richard's upload and referred to it as Richard's video. And I so badly wanted to shout from the mountaintops, "No, this isn't his video. He took over without permission to steal my project." But I didn't. Maybe I should have, but I didn't. I kept up an amicable public appearance to avoid drama, and mostly because I just wanted to put this whole thing behind me, which really sucked, since this was a video I'd been wanting to finish and share with everyone for several years. And in the end, it only brought negative things to my life. I had other projects similar to this one planned, but I just haven't been able to finish them after this experience because it was so wholly and immensely negative. For some reason, a while later, Richard messaged me after not speaking at all since this whole debacle to tell me that he was applying for helper back when that still existed, and he had the balls to include me in his application as a reference. Which I guess was a nice sentiment, but being a demoted staff member with very outspoken criticism, I highly doubt the admins give a shit about anything I have to say. I never received contact from the application staff because, oh, you bet your ass if I had, that dude would have never made it onto the staff team. And every time I saw him as a staff member, it was impossible to take him seriously because I could not think of him as anything other than that bastard who stole my video after years of work. Then one day, he just wasn't staff anymore. I don't know if he resigned or got demoted, since from what I heard, he was also very outspoken about wishing harm and calling for violence on certain female politicians during the 2016 US presidential election, which is, at minimum, a big yikes. I'm not sure if he's still active on the server anymore. His YouTube channel is gone, so that's the only reason I felt comfortable making this story time, because it has been several years, and Richard doesn't seem to be involved with the Hypixel community anymore and hasn't been for quite some time. Perhaps one day I'll finish some of the other projects I've put on hold, but I really can't say for sure, since this whole experience with needing a fair amount of help from other people has really turned me off the idea of doing more videos like that. But I hope you all found this Hypixel Storytime video to be sufficient. I know y'all are constantly demanding more, even though I'm a relatively boring person and don't have that many. And if you enjoyed the gameplay in the background, you can check out my live stream over at twitch.tv/AliMCC, where I stream a variety of games, including Minecraft 4 days a week. Extra special thank you once again to Matthew Baltar for requesting this video, and the rest of my executive producer tier patrons Doha, Emily, Jordan, Tinixfan, and Zahilla. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps me out a lot more than you know, and until next time, I will see you folks later. Bye!